Hello everybody and welcome back, where today we're talking through the Mega March sale on the PS Store. These sales run until the 26th of March, kicked off a couple of days ago, and I'm here to talk you through the PSVR2 games that are worth getting. And trust me, there are quite a lot here, from the AAA to the indie to the overlooked games that you might not know about. Without further ado, only 25% you are subscribed, so please feel free to do so. We're trying to get to 20,000 subs and any help would be appreciated. And thank you to our patrons and YouTube members who keep the channel going day after day and week after week. Let's dive straight in. Kicking us off, Phasmophobia is £11.61 at 25% off. This is an absolute steal for a game that has a bit of jank, but is one of the best co-op experiences you can have on PSVR2, and for your first 10 hours or so will genuinely be a very scary experience, and past that it's just a very solid and well thought out investigation game. At 50% off, Gran Turismo 7 is an absolute steal at £34.99, down from £70. If you haven't played GT7 and you want to get it, now is the time. If you haven't played GT7 but you don't know if you want it, go onto the store, find My First Gran Turismo. It's free, it's a demo. It'll talk you through a bunch of cars and a bunch of tracks. You can get a feel for it in VR, it's fully VR compatible, and then come back and buy GT7 if you want it. Your cars from My First Gran Turismo will also carry over to GT7, so it is a perfect system to do so. With that being said, GT7 is one of my favourite racing games of all time and one of my favourite PSVR2 games of all time. It keeps me coming back, and with a sim rig is godly. Resident Evil 4 Gold Edition is £26.99. We see this go on sale every now and then. I believe this does include some of the DLC, but that is not PSVR2 compatible, and it's the PS5 version that you'll want to install when purchasing this that has the PSVR2 compatibility. On an even bigger discount, Resi Village is £13.99, another fantastic PSVR2 AAA game. And once again, it will be the PS5 version of the game you want to install to capitalize on the VR support. If you want to get Resi 7 as well, that's £24.04 for Village and 7, but 7 is not playable on PS5 in VR at least. If you want to try out hand tracking on PSVR2 and haven't done so yet, Waltz of the Wizard is £9.59. It's a really great experience, a great game on its own with some really funny moments, and a load of experimentation to do, and is a great one to show off to new people when they're trying on the headset for the first time. I tried it out for the first time with hand tracking and it blew me away. If you want a training fitness game, Lemil's Body Combat is £16.49. I've heard a lot of people talk about this one. Haven't tried it myself, but it's rated pretty highly. A game that came out of nowhere and I ended up loving, including the soundtrack, which is banging, is Vendetta Forever. It's £14.24 at 25% off. If you have PS Plus as well, you'll save 10% more on top of that. Vendetta Forever is a love letter to action films with a super hot inspired gameplay loop of fighting and grabbing a gun to progress to the next position, fighting again and grabbing another gun, and so on and so forth until the level ends. It's frenetic, it's difficult, but it's incredibly rewarding and fun and makes you feel like a badass. Talking about feeling like a badass, Synapse is £19.49. This incredible game that uses eye-track foveated rendering to great effect is also on PS Plus Premium if you have that service. On the last sale, Red Matter 1 was on sale, and I said if you want to wait for the best visual experience possible, wait until Red Matter 2 comes along on the next sale, and lo and behold, it is here. £16.24 is the asking price for this fantastic looking PSVR2 game that runs at 120Hz native and is an absolute marvel to behold in the headset. A great game that's also on PS Plus Premium and is amazing with friends is Demeo at £16.49. This D&D/Hero Quest sort of game can give you countless hours of rolling dice and raiding dungeons. Peaky Blinders: The King's Ransom Complete Edition is £14.39. If you're a Blinders fan, this is definitely worth a look. It includes actual voice acting from the cast as it's licensed by the BBC, and did fall short in a couple of areas, but I still enjoyed it as a fan of the franchise. Mech game Big Shots is £9.59. This is a lot of fun in co-op, customizing your mech and blasting your way through aliens. A surprise hit for me was Stilt at £7.99. It is 50% off. A really fun platformer, very polished, and genuinely pretty funny to play around with. Ancient Dungeon is also £12.79. It's just had its multiplayer update, and it's definitely worth a look. The graphics might throw you off by looking at this gameplay, but in the headset, it looks fantastic. Little Cities Bigger is another In Dreams published game that I really enjoyed. It's not the most challenging of city builders, but it is incredibly relaxing and creatively inspiring. Has some surprisingly great uses of PSVR2 features, and if you enjoy city building and want a more relaxed experience doing so, it's definitely worth a look. Cosmodread is also £9.74. This roguelite I think was made by one person, and I really enjoyed it despite its low budget. It feels a bit like a budget Dead Space in VR, with some horrendous monsters to run from and good puzzles, offering you a challenge to come back to again and again. Demeo Battles is also on sale. I haven't actually tried this one, but it's got some really good reviews. It's £12.79, and I know a lot of people had been waiting for this to come to PSVR2, and I didn't actually realize it dropped, so there it is. On top of this, Synth Riders has a load of DLC on sale along with some Walkabout DLC, so definitely check out the sale for that. With that being said, there's your roundup of the PSVR2 games and DLC that are on sale. I also know that Arcade Paradise has just been added to the PS Plus Premium catalogue, so if you have that, give it a go. It's a great game, especially if you enjoy retro arcade games. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please feel free to like and sub if you feel so inclined. It helps out the channel a great deal, and I hope to see you all in the next one.